Alright, so we've gotten into the really the heart of the camera. This is the shutter unit all pulled out. And motor seems to run fine when it's hooked up to a battery, but the shutter doesn't actually actuate. So I've been playing around with it a little bit manually. And the way this thing seems to work is you've got a DC motor here, spins this gear on the end that drives this reduction gear train that you can see from the side of the unit. So if I spin that output gear by hand, you drive all these gear reductions over to this side, and this just continuously cycles the shutter in normal operation. So if you held down the shutter, it would just snap picture after picture. But as you spin the motor, it doesn't actually actuate the shutter, so it seemed like something was wrong there. And what I found is that on the ends of it, there's two little actuator bars. So right here, if I press this, yep, wrong position. So if I keep spinning the motor, if I press that bar, shutter actuates. So that works fine. And then there's one on the other end for the, that's the lower curtain. There's one on the other end for the top curtain. And then if I keep spinning it, now it resets. You get a couple of clicks and you can snap the bottom curtain, snap the top curtain. There doesn't seem to be any binding. This all seems to be working pretty smoothly and feels fine, sounds fine. Get those three little clicks and then snap, snap. So mechanically, I don't see anything wrong with this thing. So that takes me to the electrical part. So we have this flex PCB with two coils here, and can't see exactly how these work, but what I'm assuming is you have what looks to be some little stacked pole pieces here, and I'm assuming those coils are actuating some kind of bar inside that sets the release points, the trip points of these shutter actuators. So feed in a current into those coils, change the actuator through that, and then that's going to set the first and second shutter curtain points, which is going to set your shutter speed. So I think there's two things that could be wrong here. One is this board. There's also a MOSFET here inside, kind of in another flex PCB inside the assembly. The bits on the shutter unit here could be bad, or the driver could be bad. So if it's the shutter unit, I could replace the shutter unit. The problem there is these are roughly $65 to $120 on eBay. 65 seems to be a refurbished one. 120 seems to be brand new. I could buy one of those and drop it in, but the problem is that pushes the overall cost of the camera to on par with something that's fully working. And this camera has other problems. It's got two dead LCDs. Given the dead LCDs, I'm inclined to think this is probably an electronic problem. It's probably more on the drive side. So one of these boards, may have given up the ghost, and it may be that this shutter unit is perfectly fine and perfectly operational. So what I'm going to do from here is just put the camera back together, see if we, maybe we win the take it apart and put it back together lottery without finding a real smoking gun, and see if it works. And if not, it's going to be a nice little paperweight desk decoration.